Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning in for part two of my Q&A. And today's questions that I have are mainly focusing on more advice. Um, my first video before this video was basically a Q&A of questions that people had submitted on my Instagram, Facebook groups, etc. More towards just me. And the questions today are more advice centered questions and tailored more for advice. So I wanted to make two separate videos. This is part two. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And we're going to pretty much get into it. And hopefully I can give some good advice. Again, disclaimer, I am not a therapist. I just have life experience and common sense, okay? So I'm not a therapist over here, but a lot of life experience. I also was raised by a very seasoned man. My dad was really seasoned. My dad was, rest his soul, he passed away in 2017, but he was born in 1939, so he was like old school. So, just raised with a lot of common sense, and I also have a lot of life experience just from being alive and also being from the Metro Detroit area. It will help you grow up. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, I'm going to mix it up because I like to just go. I don't really like, I didn't even rehearse these videos. So, and you probably are going to be like, I can tell you did not rehearse. But we're going to get into it. One, this probably should have been in my other pile, but my daughter, I think, got to my piles and mixed them up. But this one says, how do you balance it all? You seem to have it figured out. I'm glad it looks that way. No, I do not have it all figured out at all. I do seek balance, but more than anything, I also seek harmony in my life. So I look for things to flow. If I feel like stress or things being tough or something not working, then I'm going to pivot and fix it and make it work for me. I'm also always seeking happiness, no matter if it's in a career, if it's in, my relationship, my marriage, when it's with my kids, my relationship that I have with my children. I'm always seeking happiness. So if something doesn't bring me joy or bring me peace, then I'm removing it from my life. And I think that, in a sense, let me look at the question again. Am I answering the question? That helps me balance it all. I don't balance it all, but that helps me. And I do have, so yeah, I guess I prioritize well. I don't think I always have it balanced well. Like I feel like and I'm okay with that. I'm a Libra, so even though I seek balance, I understand that I'm not always balanced. But I'm also okay with that. I'm at that age where I'm okay if I don't, I'm not able to like equally divide myself and my wants and my needs. I'm okay with that. But overall, I seek peace, I seek joy in my life, and so I kind of do move in a way that makes that happen and creates that in my life. So I don't know if I have it figured out. I'll let you guys know, but that's how I kind of seek balance in a way. I don't even know if I answered that correctly, but in my mind, I did. So hopefully it works. Let me know in the comments if I didn't. Next question. I'm working from home with kids and struggling, honey. I like how they wrote that, so I wrote it down. Struggling, honey. I'm also a single mom. Tips for juggling it all. Well, first of all, hats off to all the single parents because I am definitely thinking of you all during this time because I am going through it. I definitely think first of all, with any parents too, but especially single parents, being prepared, being organized is really going to help you survive this time. And I know it's hard. I know you said that mom of three. I wrote that note. You have three kids. So one thing, and this is a tip that I actually got from my friend Joanna, and we actually, if you look down in the videos, a few videos back, I did a collaboration video with another former teacher, and we shared some tips for homeschooling during this time. But one of the tips that she gave was that having the older kids teaching the younger kids portions of the day, having the kids really playing the teacher role to each other and teaching each other to take the stress and the pressure off of you will help. Also, really implementing a nap time. Listen, I don't care if your kids are 9 years old right now or 10 years old. Everyone needs a nap or rest time throughout the day at this point. So that the parents can have a break. You have to implement a nap time. If you haven't already, maybe you've been lax like I was, get back to it. Because it's really going to help give you a break and free up that time to maybe just get reset for the afternoon, get reset for the evening. During this time, we have to make sure we're giving ourselves breaks and giving ourselves grace and understanding that it's not going to look the same. Their day is not going to look the same as a traditional school day. Don't remove that pressure off your shoulders. Like, come on, it's just not going to happen. So, again, having the kids work together, teaching each other, I think is extremely helpful. Making sure you're implementing a nap time and making sure that too you're preparing as much as you can the night before or maybe that weekend before. How I don't know how you operate. Make sure you're preparing for them ahead of time, so you're not like scrambling, in the morning, getting breakfast together, getting your work together, and doing all of that. Have like maybe what I do for Chloe, for example. I usually like today's Sunday. I tore out all her pages for the week out of her little workbooks. Kind of got everything kind of organized, and I put it in a folder. Now that folder is probably going to take her a full week to accomplish all of those tasks. And remember, that work is in addition to the Google Classroom work she has now. And it's in addition to, like extra stuff. Like I have her reading books and things like that and arts and crafts. Now she has specials. I mean, it's crazy. But, I just leave that for her. The assignments every day, the assignments that she finishes, she moves them from one side of the folder to the completed side of the folder. And I can go through that. But we stay in that folder all week. So I only really have to prep one day a week. She knows automatically, like when she's done with Google Classroom, her default is that folder. What do I have left? You're not allowed to say you're bored because you shouldn't be bored. It's too much to do around here. And she knows that that's her default. She knows her default is not the iPad because we don't have the iPad for free time during the day. So I would really recommend the more you plan, the more you organize, the better. A great place for resources if you need any help with schedules or anything like that is the Birdie Boutique blog. I will put the link down in the description, but it's a fantastic resource and they have schedules and everything and also tons of tips for homeschooling. So I'll make sure I have that in the description. But yes, don't let these kids run you and don't stress yourself out right now. It is a very unique time, unique circumstances. So don't be too hard on yourself. If you have any more specific questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me either in the comments section or through my Facebook page, which is Ebs Knows Best. Okay, and also again that link is in the comments. What tips do you have for staying motivated during this time? Whew. I really didn't. So tips for staying motivated during this time. For me, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't know if this will help you, but for me, the motivation is that I'm alive every day because there's so many people. I'm in Detroit right now, so every day above ground is a blessing. And that keeps me motivated. That someone actually didn't wake up this morning because of whether it was this virus or some other reason. That's what keeps me motivated. I'm really intrinsically motivated. Even before this situation, I feel like life's too short. I'm here to accomplish what I can and leave something behind for my kids. That's what I'm here for. I'm ready to do the work. I'm the game of life that we all play when we're growing up. That game, I really take literally. I really feel like life is like that. You make good choices, bad choices, good choices. You're going to get to this point A, point B, point C. Bad choices, you won't. I just really believe in that. So to stay motivated, I know that I have to stay mentally strong. I also understand and I'm very grateful. I'm a person who definitely practices gratitude. I definitely understand that I am blessed. And so I understand I'm really blessed. And so that keeps me motivated. I have a lot to live for, including my children, my family, and they're dependent on me. So that's all the motivation I need. That's all the motivation I need. Being alive, breathing, and my family. Hope that helps. How do I unplug without feeling guilty right now? I feel bad when I don't return calls, but I'm exhausted. My TV just came on. I don't know. I'll probably edit that out. Maybe not. So, okay, back to the question. Let me just repeat that. How do I unplug without feeling guilty right now? I feel bad when I don't return calls, but I'm exhausted. I don't know if this is a video or if I was just talking to a girlfriend, but I said, don't let these people right now Zoom chat, virtual chat, DJ party, date night, virtual, you to death. Okay. I mean, definitely balance that out. And don't feel guilty, because the reality is, I mean, I don't ever listen. I'm big on internet wellness, and the reality is a lot of people are definitely masking a lot of pain and a lot of dealing with their own thoughts and things through socializing, and all of these things in these new ways right now. People are trying to cope. And so I don't shame people or anything like that. But don't feel like you have to be on every virtual call or Zoom chat or happy hour. It doesn't say anything about you. And be honest about it. I'm tired. I'll quickly say, I've got the kids tonight. I can't do it, but I can do it Friday. I'm usually good for like 2 virtual chat days or something a week, but the reality is that after a day of working all day, teaching kids, run up behind a baby, doing all these things, maybe I just want to relax. Maybe I want to spend time with my spouse, and all of those things, whatever it is for you, it's okay. And you should not feel guilty. And real friends will totally understand. Real family, everyone will totally understand. But if feel like they don't understand, explain it to them. Tell them you're tired. Tell them you're exhausted, just like you just told me. They'll get it. And if they don't get it, too bad. People worry way too much about what other people think. And other people really don't worry about you and your feelings. Maybe they do, but overall they don't. In my experience, overall people put themselves first. You have to put yourself first too. If she's asking this question, she's a person, or he or she, I'm not going to disclose, is a person who probably doesn't put themselves first. Okay? Teach people how to treat you. I'm at a point where most people know, I'm probably not going to answer a phone call after 7:00, because I've been like this for like 10 years. Because I've always been a person that needs to unplug at a certain time, whether that's time is for me to take a nap, go to sleep, or maybe I want to create something, but I need time to do that. And you can't have time to do that if you're always right after work talking to everybody, da da da. Another thing, once I had kids, that all changed too when I had kids. A lot of that, making myself super available to other people outside of my family. I put my family first. I'm real old school when it comes to that. I was born in 84. I come from a 2-parent household. My parents were definitely homebodies. So a lot of my ways, that's where it comes from. But I put my family first. But again, I love a social time and I love my friends and everything. But if you're feeling like any guilt or anything, you definitely need to unplug, and you definitely need to probably really say, like, why do I care so much? Why can't I just be honest with these people who I know, who I have relationships with? Honesty is the best policy, but do not ever feel guilty about putting yourself first, especially when you are saying you're exhausted. Nothing's worth the mental health. You need to, self-care is real. Take care of yourself. Next, when do you think this will all be over? Okay. So I think some of this will be over soon. Some of this. But then the impact of this is so great. So you're asking a loaded question here. Are we talking about the virus? When do I think that'll be over? I don't know. I think that, we could probably have a vaccine like maybe by the end of this year. And probably before then, restrictions will be, loosened in different regions and states and things like that. But in terms of the impact of this virus on the economy, on education, and all the things that are being reset right now, I don't know when that all will be, when things will be like, that again. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm very hopeful, and I am very optimistic that on the other side of all of this that we're going through right now, I'm hopeful and optimistic that hopefully it'll be better in some ways, in terms of maybe just the way we're living our lives. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. How does a person start meditating? Any tips? Yeah, my tip is, if you struggle with connecting with your higher self, because that's all meditation is. If you struggle with hearing that voice and really getting quiet with your thoughts and really taking the time and focusing and being intentional and all those things, and really guiding your thoughts and your energy, then YouTube is an awesome place right here on YouTube. Go ahead and go to search bar and type in guided meditations. You can be as specific as to guided meditation about prosperity, guided meditation for wellness, guided meditation for good health, guided meditation for becoming a millionaire, whatever it is, it's there for you. So if you struggle with it, I definitely think guided meditations will help. So, and if you want to, you can even do like, they have like audiobooks, like Kindle has them too. So YouTube, Kindle, all those places have, wonderful resources for that. So I definitely think that's where you can start. Again, meditation is a practice, so it's not something where you're like, oh, I did that and I should be able to do it on my own. It takes practice. It takes time. I have been meditating literally since probably 2000 on a regular basis too, since probably 2004. I meditate every single day, multiple times. So, yeah, but I'm trained to do it at this point. It's just like, like right now after this, I'm going to go meditate. I'm going to go take some time to myself. I'm going to go reconnect with myself. I'm going to, and that's where I create too during those times. That's where I come up with these ideas and other ideas and things, is when it's in those quiet moments with myself. And I hear that voice that we all have. I hear it so loud now because I'm so in tune. And people who meditate know, the voice is loud when you get to that point. So definitely I would suggest and recommend guided meditations. How do you discipline without spanking your kids? I'm about to lose it. I have 3 under 5. Is my book over here? Stacy Patton is her name. I'm trying to see. And her book is called Spare the Kids. That's not Why I Don't Spank My Kid, but that's a good resource. Stacy Patton's Spare the Kid book. I'm looking around to see if I see it. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my home. But anyways, I don't spank. I wasn't spanked as a child, and it's crazy because my parents were both spanked with like sticks and switches because they are both from the South, Memphis and Columbia, South Carolina. My father's from Memphis. My mom's from Columbia, South Carolina. And they said when they got together, like, we are never spanking our kids. They hated being spanked. They hated being beat. Like, who likes to be beat? And so they vowed never to do it. So I was never disciplined physically as a child. I never was spanked or anything like that. And so now as a parent, and I came out okay. I'm not saying I didn't have a quite the mouth on me, but I don't know if beating would have beat it out of me. I was a pretty good kid, and I don't think it was necessary. And I have my own children now, and I don't think it's necessary. I'm not saying that sometimes I don't want to. Just kidding. Because of the mouth. I have a daughter, she's 6, and she definitely is like a miniature version of me a little bit. But I don't. I feel like there are other ways. I can be pretty firm. I am a trained teacher, so I know how to discipline without putting a hand on a child. Okay? So I don't feel the need to do it. And what's the question now? The question was, how do you discipline without spanking your kids? The same way I discipline like my dogs without spanking them. The same way I discipline or when I'm mad at my husband, I don't haul off and punch him or strike him. Self-control. It's just something I decided in my life I'm not going to do. So I've had to find other ways to discipline. I do believe in timeout. I will take things away. The iPad, when I take that away from her, you would think I took away $1 million. It works. Find what works for your kid. What's their trigger point? But I'm not going to physically spank a kid, and I'm not going to normalize that kind of behavior. And that was one thing because I never was spanked, like if I was to be in a situation, or when I was younger, if I was in a situation with someone who was like violent or something, like that's not normal for me. So that would never have happened. It's not going to happen this way. So, treat people how you want to be treated. You want someone spanking you because you don't know how to act? No. So let's just not spank kids who can't do anything to defend themselves. There are other ways to discipline. Stacy Patton, again, Spare the Kids is a great book. Look it up. She's fantastic. How do I stay in tune? I meditate. I believe in myself. I write. I vision board, I brainstorm. I'm always understanding that I am an active participant and creator in my life. I feel like I am just busy creating my life. And that's how I stay so in tune. That's what I feel like life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be created. You are supposed to be an active participant. These two are going to take me way over my time. So I'm actually going to save these. And I think from these two questions, I can actually make 2 videos from. So I'm going to actually save those. But I'm going to stop there today. I feel like I kind of gave a lot in 20 or so minutes. Thank you so much. If there's something else you want to know, maybe I'll do some more of these down the road, maybe once a month or something like that. I want you guys to get to know me. But this was fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyways, hit the like and subscribe button. I hope I gave out some helpful advice. And again, these 2 that I have over here, I'm going to save for, I think these are 2 great video ideas. I'll read them to you. So the one is, what advice do you have for families dealing with screen time and tech use right now? Because clearly we're all together, right? And the screen time usage is up. Let's be real, right? And then the next one is, what advice do you have for someone who wants to change careers? I kind of did do a video, if you go down the channel line, on advice I have for someone wanting to change careers, so you can check that out. But maybe I'll do another one more on using those like how to leverage skill sets to really help you when you're in that transition, and how do you even recognize or identify things that you're good at and not. And again, that goes back to goal setting and brainstorming. So anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that this was valuable to you in some way, and I will see you guys later. Bye.